News. No country can be great without fair and honest elections. Unfortunately, the system we have today falls catastrophically short of that standard.
President Trump addressing the nation in prime time tonight to raise doubts about past election results. The president also says he's declassifying documents he says expose vulnerabilities in American elections. I'm glad you're with us tonight. I'm Shannon Ogden, and we have a lot to get to for you tonight. Now, the president also accused China of compromising voter data in the 2020 presidential election. ABC's Jacqueline Lee breaks down tonight's primetime address.
President Trump delivering a primetime address to the nation tonight on what he has been calling, quote, really big news.
Tonight, I'm announcing the immediate declassification and release of critical intelligence revealing shocking vulnerabilities in our election infrastructure.
Trump mentioning the importance of free and fair elections.
Our elections were left vulnerable to being rigged and stolen, and the trust of the American people was lost. This cannot be allowed to continue.
Trump has long pushed debunked conspiracy theories, claiming the 2020 election was rigged. There has been no evidence of widespread election fraud, and the president lost more than 60 court cases challenging the election, some in front of judges he appointed. Ahead of the address, Democrats saying Trump can't move on from his defeat.
The most famous sore loser will deliver a primetime presidential sour grapes address while his war in the Middle East spirals out of control and the cost of living continues to rise for Americans across the country.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer telling reporters earlier Thursday afternoon that Trump is looking backwards and is scared to lose in 2026. Some Republicans wishing the president would move on.
Look, we can't re-prosecute that campaign. Anytime you're looking back, you're not looking ahead, and I'm looking ahead to these elections, and the president should as well.
And election officials ahead of Trump's address offering reassurance to voters.
We take election security very seriously, maintain accurate voter rolls, take the dead people off, make sure only citizens can be registered.
Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And about 30 minutes ago, I spoke with Colorado's chief elections officer, Secretary of State Jena Griswold, a staunch Trump opponent, about the president's claims tonight.
One thing he said, this is a quote, approximately 278,000 non-citizens are registered to vote in federal elections. That's a very specific number. Is that an accurate statement?
I do not believe it's accurate. I think that Trump is a known liar. He continues to lie and push conspiracies about elections. And I do not believe that is accurate. We know that non-citizen voting is exceedingly rare. And I think the president, again, is really focused on pushing out these conspiracies for two reasons. He's a sore loser about 2020. He can not accept, even though we know 2020 was free and fair, that he lost. And he's actively trying to undermine the 2026 election.
And Colorado Governor Jared Polis released a statement following Trump's address tonight. The president has lost more than 60 court cases related to the 2020 election because many of his claims are false. Tackling the real threats against our elections requires bipartisan focus and action, not lists of personal grievances. Colorado Senator John Hickenlooper also released a statement tonight. He says President Trump is once again peddling conspiracies to distract from his failures and doubling down on his efforts to make it harder to vote. It goes on to say, no matter how many lies Donald Trump, Tina Peters, or other election deniers tell, we'll keep fighting to protect your right to vote.